Rabbit for NLD. How new are you to this game? 2 or 3 months in? Alright, you want to do it? We can do it. Roast you all that I want? I don't want to. That's exactly why now I'm hesitant. I thought you were an experienced player. I don't do critiques for players who are below Celestial. Alright. You want to learn how to play this game? You're probably going to need like 5 things, and we're going to make them up along the way. One of the 5 things you need to play this game? A plan. Why exactly? Look at this. Stun edge, stun edge. Stun edge. This is working. Why are you now running in? That's what he wants. He wants you to fight where you're weaker. Stun edge. Stun edge. Stun edge. Alright, fine. That's perfect. When your opponent begins to counterplay your basic plan, that's when you change it up. Perfect. A plan is a loose framework of semi-optimal gameplay. Combos. Setups. Knowledge. Experience. Okay? You should know that it's really hard to just do charge stun edge out of nowhere. Like right here, you definitely do not have enough time to do this. And this fella was completely correct to swing on your ass. So what is that? Number 4, experience. And number 3, knowledge. You need to know that that's not real, but without experience, how would you? Okay? Yes, 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 yes. Ah! Good try. Alright, it looks like you have a loose framework for what combo to do on RC. Now it's just execution, right? And it looks like you have at least enough knowledge to know that you need to punish Naga when he blood rages. Alright, let's see somebody else. Amelia. YOLO Stun Dipper. This is not real. Let's think about this Stun Dipper. Say this Stun Dipper works. What exactly are you gaining from it? It does like 10 damage. You get the shittiest knockdown ever. You get like no meter from it. Sure, she gets shock state, right? She's not hitting you or moving in on you. This is the most high risk and lowest possible reward thing you can do. In fact, it probably would have been less risky to run up and grab her from full screen. You need to remove that from your plan. Or you need to have a plan so you don't resort to things like round start, stun dipper. You need to be aware that if this character does this, Ender here, she can only mix you one way. She is in the air. Why are you getting hit low? Or why are you down backing? Do you know anything about Milia's 2D, Rabbit? It's a low, yeah. It's special cancelable. What else? Anything? So why don't we see if there's a resource we can use to find out more about it. Let's go to Dust Loop. Let's find Guilty Gear Strive. So here's Dust Loop. So why don't we try and find out something about 2D. 2D. Milia's primary setup for meaty H tandem top, which is disc. Milia needs to be careful about using 2D. 2D is minus 11. Minus 11 on block. One blocked 2D can get Milia killed depending on the tools at the opponent's disposal. Do you have a way to punish something that is minus 11? Alright, here's 2D. What do you do? Is 2S a punish? This is not a punish. But I like that you fought back. That Kai's 2S is a 10 frame startup move. 10 frame startup means that if you block Milia 2D, that 2S will punish guaranteed. And you can put it to the test. You need to go into training mode and learn how to use the record and play function so you can test it out on your own. Whenever you have trouble with something, like Milia, you need to be able to identify what is giving you trouble. So watching your own replays is going to be pretty helpful. You know, I like that you asked somebody more experienced than you to help you, but don't forget to watch on your own. Generally, if you want to play this game, these are 5 things you should consider. Do you have combos and setups? Do you have punishes? Remember punishing Milia 2K2D? Do you have knowledge of certain things like X and Y is not a punish, or X and Y or stun edge is not very good in this matchup? If you have knowledge, you know that Stun Dipper is not very useful against Happy Chaos because he can just shoot you. But to get knowledge, you kind of do need experience. Now, what I'm telling you is you kind of need to play more, but when you play and you get your ass beat, there needs to be iteration, okay? Alright, here we go. 2S. Alright, you're kind of like not counting on him getting hit here, so you do Forger. Clear the loon over the moon, okay? Because he had Shock State on him, you're at advantage, but you keep on giving him a turn. I think you're being a little too respectful. Make your opponent show you that they know how to fight your character. But how can you when you're still learning yourself? Be a little more aggressive? Well, it's kind of your turn after your opponent blocks Future Arc and Shock State, right? If you're fighting somebody like me, like okay, even Shock State or not, like after you do Future Arc, like you know, there's a couple more layers. Like okay, what happens if I instant block? What happens if I IBFD? What happens if I 50% meter? What happens if I air block? Right? What happens if I backdash it? What happens if I backdash after I block Future Arc? There's a lot that goes into it, but for now, you can keep it simple because you're the one who's taking initiative against opponents at your level. So the general idea should be when you make your opponent block Future Arc, you keep on pressuring. Number 5, a loose framework of semi-optimal gameplay. When my opponent blocks Future Arc, I get to take another turn. Oh! Oh, rabbit! Oh, no! Oh, he has no ammo! Who's going in? Oh, big man! Big man! Oh! 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 Beautiful! That was beautiful! Oh! Oh! Oh!
Double fucking overtime! What the fuck, baby?
Oh.
New York is fucking back!
We get it, you fuck! If you had some more experience, you would have turned that 2S into a super. Oh, yeah, cheesing. Yep, look at that. Yep, I like it, You're feeling himself a little bit, 3-0? Chip? Yeah. Okay, for those of you who are still, you know, learning, like, setting up the foundation, right? What you have to understand is that even when you play somebody, not somebody that's like, alright, if you're gonna play Lord Knight at your level, like, it might be a little much. But if you're playing somebody who is better than you, and you can muster up a fight, there's gonna be things you can retain and things that you can find and say like, okay, probably need to mill this out. How do you identify that? Personally, if I'm going off of nothing, my favorite thing to do is watch somebody who already plays the character. If I'm not able to identify why some situation is happening or not happening, I tend to watch and learn. How do you deal with Chip Clone? It's a mid. He can do it off a special cancel, but it's never a true pressure sequence, I don't think. So you can always hit the clone. Okay. Even though, like here, you're getting blown out on defense, where are potential opportunities where you may have been able to answer? Maybe right here. IDJH from the top rope. There is a gap. Yes, that's correct. Okay, burst. Charge stun edge. This is okay. How does an opponent fight against charge stun edge? They jump over it and counter it. Yes, or they run away. So what are we doing here? The most obvious number one thing is that the opponent will jump over it and try and fuck you up. So your number one answer should be right here, to be watching your opponent, because this is doing the work on the ground for you, right? Your eyes should be bolted on Chip, just waiting for him to like, just be like, alright, you gonna jump? You gonna jump at me? And then you anti-air him, right? That should be your level 1. Your loose framework of semi-optimal gameplay. Okay, don't do meaty 6H. Do like meaty 5K. Learn meaty 5K and understand why it's good. That'll be my homework to you. If you want a recommendation for a Kai player to learn from, this is your man, Stank Boys. Trust me, Stank Boys is your man.
The game said, yes, bitch. Now get your ass back to floor 5. Damn, what up, Hotashi? Level 2? Oh, yeah. It's been
It's been a ride, brother. Damn,
Yeah, Kizzy is
you're the
quite good
first
as well.
7 months.
So, look, what you're gonna find is that simple things like you remember how you let Chip I-80 on you, and there was a gap. Do you remember how Milia did 2K2D on you, and there was an opportunity to punish? These fundamentals can be used across the entire game. The entire game. If you're having trouble with something, you can use those fundamentals and review your matches, and then you'll find something. Either you'll find an answer, or you'll find that you might have to respect it just a little bit more than you're used to. The most important thing for you personally, you need to get some combos, practice your combos, practice your meaties. And if you're not doing that yet, then things aren't necessarily going to be flowing the right way, right? It's going to take some time. You know, watch your Kizzy, watch your Sting boys, and you know, you'll pick up on things and keep on playing. You'll be okay.